Hey, everybody. Brand new intro. I promised a certain person that I would put that type of thing in front of every single event. So here we are. And it seems to work out pretty good, I think. So, yeah, hopefully you got a chance to see that. And, yeah, good morning, everybody. It's great to see you all. We've got a lot to get to today. There could be more stories than I even indicated in the description. Things are happening so quickly right now. I mean, it's bonker sauce, to be fair. Hopefully you can hear me. I want to say thank you to the amazing people like Liberty Hall's Cat, who just gifted a Culture Casino membership. We had tons of comments walking in the door today. Oh, you guys are incredible. I have the best chat on YouTube, and we are over 32,000 subscribers now. And it's because of you. Everything that you guys are doing, those of you that watch the lives, those of you that watch the replays, and those of you watching the videos, you're making it happen. We're growing leaps and bounds. You are sharing the channel, you're sharing the videos, and that's really important. So keep it up. I appreciate it. I really, really do. Our friend the Weatherman is here. He's been generous all last week, and I do appreciate it. BMO Beta is hanging out on the green machine. We have the lovely Jill Powers out there. I hope you're doing well, dear. And Griffin has some news for us. I'll take a look in a moment. We got Mark Fields, Penny. We have M&M Fish. I hope you're doing well, and you have my prayers, my friend. Let's see. We got that service dog out there, Peach Fan, and we had some early gifties, and they are not represented on the screen. It doesn't look like they can be either, which I don't understand. Must have missed that. Let's see. Who else is in the house? Let's see. Rogue Thinka. Thank you, Griffin, for being a greeter. I appreciate it. And for what it's worth, if it's not on the screen, I will read you what Griffin put out there. I'm scrolling through. Greetings and salutations. That's right. I love it, Griffin. Way to go. Thank you, my friend. Butterbiscuit is out there. Butterbiscuit 92. And as Joseph A. said a couple minutes ago, it's Meat Week. That's right. In Florida. Good to see a lot of you out there. Can't wait. There it is. Right there. Vatlau. We love it. We love LA. We got the lovely Sherry in here today. Good to see you, dear. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Music good? Everything good? You guys are great. Juliet's checking in from across the pond. Oh, look at all these wonderful beings. And welcome. Follow the Bradley's fun. That's right. Thank you. Griffin is extraordinary today. Holy cow. Tom F. is here. Good to see you. And let's see. Rogue Thinka. There's Ron. Ron with the raid. Follow the Bradley's fun. You should do that. Arlene Navo is here. Good morning. And we've got Scott Cook as well. So Griffin dropped news, and I haven't seen it yet, so I will say it right now. Today was the founding of Pixar. Thank you for that, Griffin. It's amazing. We got Magnify over there on the green machine. Yeah, we dropped a new intro. We got Randall out there. What's up, buddy? Our good friend at Channel Surf. Nice. Like it. Well, it gives everybody a moment, that's for sure. Speaking of a moment, Mark Fields gives us a moment for 2 Culture Casino clams. Thank you. Thank you very much. JB Spooky Review says, my mother was rushed to the hospital. Please pray. Yes, please pray. Wow, JB. All right. Well, okay. Goodness. Everybody should. If you have faith, I'm sure JB would appreciate it. JPS is in the house. Hello, sir. Good to see you. Red Dawn Batman. What's going on? Let's see. Oh, Daisy Blossom. Goodness gracious. It's good to see you, dear. I hope you are doing well. Let's see who else rolled out. We got Sam. What's going on, Sam? Good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see. My favorite wizard, bar none. Well, thank you. Thank you. Actually, I'm kind of got crazy here today. I was doing a bunch of stuff outside this morning. Woo. It's fun to work in the morning when it's cold. Brisk is the term. Frank is here. Frank's here. Hey, Frank. JD File, good to see you. Good morning. Look at this happy audience. Oh, I love it. Best chat. I'm not kidding. It's all because of you. Share the stream, share the dream, share the videos. The Snow White one was a little popular, I'll say. Jeremy Magnum's in the house. Good morning. And the lovely Petty. Andy, I can't wait to see you in Florida in just a couple of days. We got Release the McCracken. Yeah, there won't be a Tuesday 6-minute daily unless I do it an hour earlier. And I don't even think I could do it then. It'd have to be much earlier, maybe 2 hours early. I don't know if anybody wants that, but I'm gonna sleep. That's what I'm gonna do. So, because I'll be on an aeroplane all day tomorrow. We got fresh snow. Good to see you. Q2 Cast TV, and so many more. For those of you in the chat, I appreciate you, and I appreciate your thoughts and your prayers for well-being for others and everything else. You guys are amazing. Buck Driver Doge getting things done in the extreme, my friend. In the extreme. We're going to talk about that today. We got some bonus time because it's a Monday, so that's good stuff. Me and my monkey. All right. Should we go? Yeah, we're gonna go. I will see you there, Ron. I hope I'm coming. I mean, I'm flying there. I'm not really a fan of cons anymore because it seems like every time I go, I get sick, but I will be at the events and the places I can be. How's that? I hope everybody has a beautiful day. Thank you, Mark, and thank you, Cash. Derp. I'm kind of derp. Anyway, here we go. All right, everybody. 6 minutes starts now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you are and whatever you're watching. Thanks for checking out the 6-minute daily. We have a lot to talk about, not a lot of time to do it in, but we also have a lot of good news. Good news may not seem like good news, but it will be good news. For example, Dogman delivered #1, second best January debut for an animated film with 36 million. And of course, Companion didn't find very many friends. It's kind of an odd premise, something that I would be interested in, but you have to be hardcore sci-fi in a way, I think, to appreciate that. Regardless, they did rather well in the box office. And I'm going to tell you, 36 million is no slouch for a kid's animated feature. And it's much loved. I imagine families will see that a couple of times. More than 4 quadrant, it delivers to the right audience. Speaking of the right audience, Nicolas Cage doesn't think AI can find the right audience. He thinks that robots dream for us. We can't let that happen. He's 100% right. I'm with him there. Miss me? Of course I miss you. Megan 2.0 teaser trailer debuted during the Grammys. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm very excited about this summer film coming out on June 27th. At the Grammys, though, Trevor Noah is terrible. He's probably one of the worst hosts you could have picked. I guess he did some Trump jokes and tariff, immigration, Taylor Swift, Rihanna, Beyonce, a lot in an opening monologue that I still found lacking. It's probably just him. I mean, you know, at least for me anyway. Protest against Trump deportation policies blocked traffic from both directions on the 101 yesterday. And this is not a way to endear yourself to people. It's also a way to indicate that for far too long, and for 20 or 30 years in some cases, people have been residing in various places illegally. We'll have to see what the ramifications are at the end of the day, but this is not the way to get, well, people to be on your side. Donald Trump's going to be doing a Super Bowl pregame interview, so mix that in with all the commercials you'll see, and I think you'll have plenty of entertainment. Looks like Brent Baer is the selected journalist at this point. Probably don't want to do anything with CBS or CNN or PMSNBC. So, yeah, I don't blame him. We've got Roku, Hello Sunshine, and Rich Eisen Productions launching a women's sports studio show. I don't really know how much appeal this will have outside of WNBA season, because there really aren't a lot of other sports that are really watched by the vast majority of the population. And, you know, the WNBA being number one, unless it's, you know, World Cup soccer event when you start to see some soccer coverage. But look, I mean, they picked some people to do this. I just don't know that it's going to shine. I think this will have limited appeal and probably won't last very long. A trade war, they say, has Wall Street falling a bit lower, sharply lower. They say car makers' restaurants slide, even though Tesla looks like it's going to go upwards. The trade war among allies triggers retaliation. I want to remind Canadians that we are 40% of your trading partner, 40% of your GDP, as a matter of fact. Mexico, even more. So all I have to say is bad timing. Needed to figure out how to get on the right side of these tariffs before they were implemented. And it sounds like we're ready to go to actual war and double these in the near future. That means we could feel some pain, according to Trump himself, which I would have expected in the short term. I don't imagine it will take long to get things rectified. But in order for things to convey from one place to another, there's going to be an import tax. Ontario Premier says he's ripping up the contract with Musk's Starlink, only hurting the people who live in his province. I feel bad for anybody there. Doug Ford is kind of a douche, and he's still under investigation, I think, for some activities that he had recently. DEI, well, they're going to keep pushing it at work, despite the fact of attacks and laws against it, and the fact that it's just completely illegal. Executive Vice President was talking to AP at Edelman. So Edelman's a bad guy. Just know that. Bill Gates shares his thoughts on all kinds of things. But let me remind you very quickly, he pays the AP. At least Grok came up with a really good way of saying this. According to available information, the Gates Foundation has given financial support to AP for news coverage in Africa and elsewhere. Specifics aren't out there at this time, but we do know President Trump's going to be meeting with a more powerful CEO right now, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang. We've got Italy blocking DeepSeek because of, well, major issues. We've got Texas governor banning DeepSeek on Red Note on government devices, which makes sense. And the UK's biggest water company seeks court approval for emergency funding to prevent nationalization. You know you're going to be in a socialist country if they start doing this regularly with your utilities. This could be very, very bad for the UK. And they need about $3.7 billion in emergency funding so that it'll keep them out of government administration. Once this thing goes national, it probably will never leave it. That's a problem. Anyway, we are going to get a bear story, so stick around. We've got some bear time, bonus time. What do you want to call it? Let's do that. Anyway, let's get to it. Bonus time. All right. Well, yeah, we had a great bear story. This is an update on a story we already covered. And it makes me happy to talk about stuff like this for those of you out there that like the bear stories. This one's a good one. This one's a good one. And I will get to the gifties, I assure you. In fact, we had gifties over on Rumble. That's right. And I did see Ruby Hoove and Weatherman with 5 Culture Casino gifties, and Ruby Hoove with 1. Those came in too early for the chat to be picked up on my side, but thank you for those. I really, really appreciate it. Strong start, my friends. But let's get to this bear story real quick, and then we will cover all the wonderful support we've had today. If you remember, we talked about this, I think, on Friday. Barry, the 525-pound aminal, I guess that works out to 238 kilograms, found this story all the way over in Australia, believe it or not. And the little guy at 525 pounds has been rescued. They were able to pull him out later on Friday. And congratulations to him. I guess some people called him Victor, but he had been rescued from that Altadena crawl space. It took him, 24 hours to get him out of there, and it took 8 experts. So, yeah, the homeowner was forced to evacuate due to the fires. And if you remember, he's tucked up in there. They brought him a smorgasbord of different foods in order to drag him out. And yeah, I just wanted to update this. It had a very happy ending, and he had a nap. He was way too big to tranquilize and drag out. So, yeah. But there he is. Yeah, but he's good. I wanted everybody to know he's good. That's right. Thank you, Arwen Avalon. I appreciated you. Thank you for dropping the like. Everybody should drop a like. That's right. Drop a like. Yay. All right. Let's see. I want to say thank you to Weatherman for the dollar, reminding me that there were gifties out there in the world. And I want to say hi to Matt G, otherwise known as Swift -1. We got Juliet, Punkwaddle. Look at all these amazing beings. Let's see. Can we please deploy the likes? That's right. Jesus Rex says Grizzlies. Nah, that's just a regular old black bear bar, I believe. But yeah, I just wanted to update. There was a positive outcome. Jim Who says bear time. That's right. We love bears. Bears. Africa is where Bill Gates Foundation was rumored to fund the research into. Yeah. I do want to talk about the fact that I think these are criminal activities. I think when you start giving people something they don't want in a situation where they don't have anything, they have no choice in the matter. I think that's a problem. I think that's a civil rights violation, and I think we need a court to say so soon. What the what? When did culture become a what? They do say you are the average of the people you keep around. No, I'm not suggesting they don't fight back. I'm saying that it's a matter of fair trade. There hasn't been that in a very long time. I'm fine with fighting back. The problem is that it's very tied to specific things. Protecting the border and, doing your fair share. That's all it is. It's not what I said. It's not insane. Geez. I support Canada. I always have. Canada will never win a trade war. This is true. Yeah, there's no reason for there to be a trade war, and it's being characterized as such by the media. All of it, like I said, there were very straightforward things that Trump said about them. That's it. The equivocation of currency and the global trade, the globalists, is giving us all these situations to put us into a one world government authoritarian rule. I'm not sure anybody wants that. I don't want to live as a serf or as a slave. And to be fair, in the United States, mega corporations have been using people who they've been taking advantage of for a long time. It comes down to political ideologies. Various people want people to come up from down south, make far less money than minimum wage and many other things. It's the same reason for sending off jobs to other countries. So, yeah. But no, countries, well, look at the contractor that outed himself on TikTok the other day, talking about the fact that his roofers were all people that were not here legally. That's no way to live. You broke the law in the first place to get here. What was one of the conditions for Trump tariffs in Mexico? And if we can't all admit that the Mexican government is outright owned by the cartels, then, we're not speaking the truth. I like the truth. So free trade did not work out the way it was sold to us all. Do I want people in Canada to suffer more? Of course not. Your government's already putting the hammer to you. You're already in line with the CCP. Heck, you've got CCP police stations, or did. I'm not sure if that's still the case in your own country. And Griffin Domaline is spot on in the chat. Look, I'm not a jerk. I think that everybody should toe the line equally. One of the reasons that a lot of nations can be incredibly leftist is because of the generosity of the United States. If you don't see that, I can't help you. I would love to. If you go back to the early 2000s, right into the aughts, you'll see that the first fair trade deals were Bush's, and the expansion of those were Bush's. And that was part of his economic agenda between 2001 and 2009. It's just one of those things. Anyway, frankly, none of it's worked out for the United States. It's the same situation with NATO. We're spending $890 billion a year. Why? Your stocks suffer because of some turkey on TikTok. Well, he's not the only one. How many turkeys are there out there using illegal labor? It's in the hospitals. It's in regular businesses as well. The real world situation is the situation with illegal immigration has been that it's basically, and I hate to say it, slave labor. It doesn't take much to look into this stuff. I can tell you right now, I have no trouble with the trade with Mexico or Canada. The situation with the drug problem in the United States and the layabouts that creates and every other bad situation. I mean, you have to look at it. But we will see. We will see what happens. Heartless Shroom. Gas prices will come down. Well, we need to get back to some form of energy independence, and that'll bring market prices down across the globe. If they have to sell their oil for less, that'll be a different situation. So, we'll be able to hang on to our supply of oil, which is substantial, and, buy it off the world market. But at least it'll be at a more fair price for everybody. Not to mention the fact that under the former administration, we were paying the healthcare costs, the living costs, and everything else of all these people who came here with no skills. And there are a lot of them. If you come here and have little to contribute, what's the point? You're living off the taxpayers' backs. That's a problem. It's a big one. Oh, I wasn't doing that as an insult, Putin's cat. Man. Nicholas Horton asks a wonderful question. There was no such thing. 30K is me wearing a bear onesie. I had several people let me know that. They want to see me be silly. So when I get back, we'll definitely get that done. I've got to order that today before I get on a plane. Staccato DDS says it's a fact that illegal immigrants take more than they contribute. Well, yeah, a lot of studies have shown that. And in recent years, I would say it's even more off kilter. I would think the weight would fall even deeper on the backs of the taxpayer. We aren't taking care of people here that are here legally, actual citizens of our country. So I think that's kind of some of the point. Yeah, fentanyl's a killer. Just look at basically most streets in California. Yeah. U.S. drug problem is because of Canada and Mexico now. Don't know what you're smoking. Well, if we closed up certain pathways to traffic things, it would be a little bit different. But I don't think that's new. We have Ruby Hoove for $2. Hooves, gifty show up? Have a wonderful day. Thank you, Ruby Hoove. Let's check. We'll find it. There we go. Hey, Hoove gives a Culture Casino membership. Thank you. And thank you, Ruby Hoove, for letting me know. Let's see. That's amazing. You guys are so generous. I appreciate it. Looks like, let's see. Weatherman Culture and Ruby Hoove gifted member on YT. Yes, you did. Thank you, Weatherman. Much appreciated. Once again, I love this. This is amazing how you can actually see some of these now, even over on Rumble. So thanks for that. And Weatherman, thank you for the 5 Culture Casino memberships earlier in the stream. That's amazing. Let's see. I hope you feel better, Hoove. That's terrible, my friend. My goodness. Been a little off on my tummy today, too. So not great going into a travel day, that's for sure. But things happen, I guess. Yeah. Let's see. We got a couple things to talk about. First of all, did you all see the Grammys? Or did you see anything from the Grammys? I mean, you should probably go find the Megan 2 trailer, teaser, I should say. It was very good. But did you see Kanye and his wife person? She was, I had to censor it, which is crazy. But I think her last name is Sensori, so there you go. But I had to actually cover that up with the Grammy Awards and a record because she was wearing a sheer bodysuit to the Grammys. And at a certain point, you go, at what point is that not clothes? I mean, that's pretty wild. It wasn't great. I felt like that may have stretched a line if young people were watching it. Maybe I'm wrong, but it seemed that way. And it's funny because after Kanye and Miss Sensori walked the red carpet, they left. They got in their car and left. They didn't even go to the Grammys. It's crazy. I'm not sure that's okay. I think it's pretty wild. Cynthia Carter says, I have never watched the Grammys. Always felt kind of blah to me. Well, the musical performances usually were hit and miss. Sometimes you got great artists, Michael Jackson, others. And sometimes you get this Rowan lady. Yeah. Fresh. No, I've never watched more than 5 minutes of the Grammys. Daisy Blossom says indecent exposure. Well, yeah, it was pretty crazy. And I saw it on social media and I spread it about, but it seems like there should be something. You should have to wear more clothes than that. I mean, do you remember the angst over the slip that Janet Jackson had that was intentional? I tell you what, we're a week from now, we're going to have a different conversation about tariffs and things like that. If tariffs are actually utilized to eliminate the Internal Revenue Service and remove that type of a tax burden and have a small flat tax on purchases that are only applied to non-staple items, I think that'd be great. I really do. Peter D says, whole world dislike USA now. I don't know. There's some interesting numbers out there. There's some interesting numbers out there. I'd like to ask my UK friends, would you like a Trump-like figure or a Starmer-type figure running your government? Punkwaddle says, what terms of service is being followed? I hear they weren't even invited. I have no idea about that. Good morning, Evil Ramen. Good morning, Hampton. Hello. Wardrobe malfunction. My patootie. Yeah, very strange. Yeah, Mark, and I think there were quite a few out there that were pretty good, but not so much anymore, you know. Rogue Thinker says, tariffs are not magic money fountain that other countries throw money at you because you are America. That's true. It's an equalization of trade goods. And do you know what the desired effect of this are? You probably do. You, Rogue Thinker, you pay attention to this stuff. And I think most everybody here arguing with me does. It's to bring American companies back on shore to manufacture their products. The reliance on outsourcing, I don't know how you can make an argument for outsourcing, is a corporate thing. Corporations want to make more money. I mean, if I were Tim Pool, I'd be making a skateboard analogy right now and the manufacture of skateboarding and the destruction of skate culture. Maybe that's true. But if you outsource your work goes elsewhere. This all happened. You remember the tech bubble? All those jobs went away. The communications folks, even the union that was fighting for it, all that stuff went away. You all got offshored. It all went to India and places like that. So. Nicolas Horton says a Trump-like figure. Well, yeah, considering the situation. Our military depends on our economy. Other countries' military depends on our economy. That's it, again, it's not the argument. It's one of 1,000 different arguments for the America getting the short stick for a long time. Again, trying to equalize currencies is a globalist idea. It's the same one for the failed attempts at this multiculturalism. It results in complete chaos and disaster anywhere it's been implemented. Yeah, I really didn't want this to be a political discussion. It's just there's going to be action and reaction from anything anybody does, especially on this large of a scale. Have you ever had that one relative or several that just keeps finding a way to dip into your pocket? Rogue thought. Awesome. What do you got? Perhaps if you think of Trump as a mob boss who became president. No. Um, I see somebody who understands the system and is turning it to the advantage of the things he cares about, which oftentimes are themselves. But in this case, I think your argument would be a country. The argument was made, and Dave Chappelle made a joke out of it way back in the day, the first Trump run at the presidency, was that he understands the system. The system's corrupt. And Dave Chappelle's joke is, well, how do you know that? Because I use it. If you understand the mechanisms behind it, I would say, there's different forms of leverage. I need you to secure your border because I can't do it by myself. And oftentimes your support of NGOs is working counter to me. It also sounds like the U.S. aid support of NGOs also did it to us. So we were actually fighting we were fighting ourselves. The U.S. aid revelations is, very clear on that. But when you look, again, these are very broad approaches to this rather than individual, because there's so many different factors when it comes to that. But protecting the border, hey, could you guys help close off this border, secure the border so we don't have this illegal trade happening here, this illegal transaction? I don't know. Please be civil in the chat, guys. Don't attack each other. That's not cool. Yeah. But yeah. So I'm going to slide out of the tariff conversation for now. I think a week from now, things will be different. Let's put it that way. So, yeah, actually, I've been doing some AI stuff. I've been trying to calculate a system to utilize AI agents to communicate with each other to accomplish various tasks that I find mundane. Like going through my mail and deleting all the garbage that I get. That's posed as something else. I got a lot of old email stuff that shows up that I don't want anything about that. And I think robot repairs are going to be a good career in the future, to be fair, especially since I think the most robots out there will be the Optimus robots, since they literally are being put into a retail sale, at least according to Musk and the folks over there at Tesla. You should be able to buy one by the end of 2025, or people will be able to, I should say. And I agree with WDW Pro, as a matter of fact, when it comes to the fact that Tesla robots are going to be relatively inexpensive, are capable of repeating mundane tasks, and could certainly be turned into animatronics. So I think Disney should not be throwing so much shade at Elon, but they will. Nicholas Horton says, we need our own Trump here. Well, in the UK, I think you have probably the forefront is Farage. I would like to see one of your business-informed celebrities there to come into, a political side. The problem with celebrities is sometimes they lack credibility with certain people. I think it's why it took Reagan so long to A, become the governor, and B, I think it took him 2 runs to become president. But again, I was very young. There are bigger problems out there than this. It just seems petty. I agree with you. There are huge problems. But if you are truly a partner of the United States, you want to work with the United States to solve those problems. One of the ways that you can help is to secure your border and actually go after the drug cartels that largely pay for certain politicians to be put in office. I agree with you, though. There are bigger problems. I would like to solve the homeless problem, but you got to put somebody competent in charge of that plan, because you can spend $24 billion on it like California and have no results, right? Staccato DDS for 10. Culture Casino Clams. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Trump campaigned on everything he's doing now and was overwhelmingly elected. No apologies necessary. Well, he did say what he was going to do, including the tariffs. So, package deal. I think one of the weirdest things that happened yesterday is how quickly the currency exchanges moved. I guess not just yesterday, but the last couple of days. I think it's going to be interesting going forward. Oh, no. Tim and I have nothing in common. I mean, outside of some of the things that he says that I agree with, I don't know about that. But thank you, California Kev, man. Look, I love the state of California. There's no way I would move there to live. It's not like it was back in the late 80s, the early 90s. There were still problems there, don't get me wrong. But places like Pacific Beach, if you moved inland, the UTC area, all of that, incredible. Del Mar, in particular, moving up the coast, moving just even a little farther down coast. And I think the most shocking thing there at the time, when I was there, was the Yorba Linda, if I remember that correctly, McDonald's getting shot up. If you guys remember that. Will Culture Casino wear an Alf costume for $40K? Hey, that's a possibility, SFX F314 Sabertooth Raptor. That's a possibility, but I will be wearing a bear onesie for our 30K celebration. And thank you again for sharing this dream, sharing the dream, and being the best chat on YouTube. You're amazing. Yeah, please be nice to each other. GJ Ronnie G, the NGO probably gave us sniffles. Look, the revelations just coming out like regularly of what USAID was doing out there and who they were funding is disgusting. Who knows what other criminal activity was being done even at the source of the treasury. I mean, there's stuff coming out all the time showing how deep this corruption runs and how many different ways it goes. You wonder where all our money's going? That's the thing to pay attention to, the USAID scandal. I don't even know. It's bigger than a scandal. It's enormous. Dude, crazy. Coffee. What else? Well, you can't just say you're going to take other people's. Okay, Peter, I understand. A lot of people took what Trump was saying quite seriously. I wouldn't have anticipated that he would take Canada. First of all, that's something I would fight against because, if Canada wants to join the United States willingly and actually create a positive situation and actually give you guys free speech and some rights that have been restricted from you, I'd be all for it. But if as far as I'm concerned, Canada's a sovereign nation. The only way you can get other people's stuff at this point is to negotiate. I would fight against doing it by force if that's what people are believing. I don't think anybody anticipates that. And I think oftentimes people take him like literally when he's talking well, nonsense sometimes. I mean, sorry, I recognize that. Of course, 90% of all politicians talk nonsense 90% of the time. And you can't always take politicians at your word. So it's kind of rare when we see a politician do something he said he was going to do. And, it's only been, what, is this week 3? This is the third week, or am I wrong? Somebody help me. We 3 weeks into this? I think so. So it's been pretty wild. This weekend was insane. That's why they titled the stream the way I did, Grammys, Tariffs, and Trump. Because that's kind of what dominated the headlines. And Evil Raman, you're right. I mean, Trump does talk nonsense. It's a deliberate tactic. And Trump really probably wanted to use tariffs, realizing that he may have to actually use them, but as a leveraging tool. It was a negotiation point. This guy, that's what he does or has done for his entire career. Only the power of the weave can save us. It's not a weave. It's my hair. And prices have come down on Teslas pretty significantly. The only thing I don't like about battery-powered cars, and mind you, there's a couple of them outside of my door, is that they really aren't green. The amount of carbon footprint to build them is pretty significant, not to mention the toxic batteries that they're powered on. And they're in a limited way recyclable, but not purely. It's just odd. And as far as the culture drinks Rogaine, no, I don't do that. But you keep asking a question about the canal, Putin's cat, and I'll say it this way: why would he shut down the canal? The issue right now is that Panama made a deal with the CCP, and there's also some other issues there. So the leader of Panama negotiated with a member of a Trump delegation. I don't recall specifically the details, outside of the fact that they would end the contract with the CCP. First of all, they haven't followed through on their obligations of the treaty and the conditions of the handover. So there's a real problem with that. But I agree with you. They'd be dumb to shut down the canal. Really dumb. Dean's been here for a month. Thank you, Dean. Appreciate the support. Says, Reagan tried to get the nomination in 76, then 80. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought the second one was his successful. Yeah. Thank you for that, Dean. Man, things would have been different after 76, huh? Anyway, some stuff may not have happened. No, I understand the stability argument. Please don't think I don't. I like stability. You'd think the other countries would, have listened a little bit, but it is what it is. No, I don't like instability, and I don't like war. I want no war. Zero. Thank you. And again, this is also a lesson to the rest of the world. Trump ran on something, and when he got in office, he started executing the things he said he was going to do. Boop, 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 boop. And I guess now they're really rooting out corruption in a way that maybe some people weren't even close to being aware of. So if other world leaders see that Trump's a guy who follows through on what he says he's going to do, then negotiation is easier and stability is easier to achieve. If you say you're gonna do something, hey, you need to stop doing this. If you don't, I will do this. And you've seen there's a history of that in his background. You know, you already know what the consequences are because he told you. And because those consequences can be so severe, you actually, you know, get in line. And it creates incredible stability. SFXF314 Sabretooth Raptor says, will Culture Casino wear an Alf costume for $40K? I know they got that one earlier, but yeah, maybe. I mean, I'll be cooking in this studio room, but it's worth it for you guys. Man, that Gandalf robe was insane. Empress M says, doesn't California have the highest taxes in the nation? Yeah, I think they're one of the top three, with I think New York right in there too. Plus, New York has a lot of hidden taxes, you know, for transportation especially. New York is just seems incapable of dealing with the growth that they had, and then adding another several 100,000 million people that came in illegally during Biden's term. You know, no country can absorb that many people. In the UK, the not really conservative, I guess, you know, their Reform Party, right? The Reform Party over there has a leader. His name's Farage. And maybe not the best, but better than other alternatives. He makes a great argument for the problem with unmitigated free migration, which the UK has been dealing with. You have a very small island, and you immediately strain your infrastructure if you're bringing in hundreds of thousands of people a year. You can't absorb 400,000 people into a nation that size. Feeding them, which they seem to get priority. The same thing in this country, but taking care of their health needs, all of that stuff is going to strain the citizens in that area and cost them extraordinarily. But also, you're not really capable of delivering in the best possible way to support all these new people who do not respect your laws or your culture in your country, which is why the multiculturalism problem rears its ugly head every time. So it's just logic. You cannot do that. And should that be put upon your people to support them? No, it's like I said, strains your infrastructure. You got power problems. UK has the highest electrical prices in the entire world. Highest. It's inarguable, ridiculously so. And what was happening here in the States? Everything was going up. The citizens should be the ones receiving the housing vouchers from various government programs, not the people who came here illegally. Right? Shouldn't it be the citizens of your populace are taken care of first? What about veterans? You know how many veterans end up homeless? A lot of medical issues that should have been taken care of. The VA is a tragedy. In my opinion. Regardless, aside from the other cultural weirdness this weekend, the Grammys, which was strange, I think we are at the lowest point cinema-wise than we've ever been. And I'm sure we'll talk about this a little bit this morning on Midnight's Edge in the Morning, coming up in about 20 minutes. But just when you look at how dismal the box office performance has been, you should be a little terrified, because it's showing that we don't have enough cultural material spilling out into the world anymore. And people have walked away from television, unfortunately, and they're cutting the cord with cable and they're looking at streaming things. And it seems like there's infinite options, but they're not very good. And I think that's been the bigger problem here. There isn't a lot out there that's good. One of the most important things that I pay attention to when it comes to film is what the box office is earning every single weekend specifically, because it tells a tale of what's actually happening as far as the consumer consumption of entertainment. And this is something we will definitely talk about on Midnight's Edge in the morning. But anytime the box office in modern day is under $100 million over the course of a weekend, you're in trouble. And for, I think, the third or fourth consecutive weekend, we have 29 films. That's 3 less films than last week in wide release or in release, trackable release, and only $82 million that came in. That's it. It's under 100 million. And when, the top 10 movies were the ones that delivered that, think of it. Dogman delivered 36 million of that 82 million. That's a lot. It's over a third. And between 36 million and 9 million for Companion, $45 million, making up over half. So it's really, really bad. There's not much out there. And that's bad for the entertainment business. The number of production startups, start of productions that have happened this year is already lagging. Last year was terrible. It's very bad. I just look at that and I go, okay, Hollywood's not doing well. And Hollywood's not going to do well. The effects of the strike, when can we say that those are over? They should have been over months ago. Productions do take a while. It's true. But it should be a cornucopia of material backing it up. And yet production starts are still slow. And a lot of people who live out in Hollywood, because I know a lot of them are in the audience or that area, or in the 19 blocks that makes up the intelligentsia of the entertainment business. What you got? Nothing. Not much. Yeah, YouTube seems to be censoring like crazy. So, yeah, and you're right. I know my friends in the UK, like ZombieBox here, do check out his channel, by the way. Great mod, good friend. He's right. The TV license is robbery. Dean says, last time my knee was healthy, I was 23 and a sergeant in the Marines. At 27, I was told my knee could not be reconstructed. At 37, I was told I needed a replacement. I'm now 57. Good gravy, Dean. You are a few years in front of me, but still, it's a long time of pain. And do you want to tell everybody how the VA deals with that? I got family that just fought for a lifetime. Hey, Dr. Bravo. Epcot lights working again for the third time. Oh, boy. Disney's having real trouble. You saw the ceiling caved in at one of the pavilions in the land, right? Wild. Cornucopia. Let's see. Oh, man. Coconut rum coffee is up Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Karen Prime celebrates 48 months. So good to see you. Hi, Cuddles. Interesting stream to step back into X. Well, thank you. And thanks for being here. It's been a long time since I've seen you, but I appreciate 4 years of support no matter what. Yeah, it's interesting. Wide varying topics today. And all I ask is that you be nice to each other. Admiral Teague. What's up, buddy? Admiral Teague's awesome. The strike came after COVID. There was a pile up to get it to production. Then the strike happened. Now it seems there's an artificial donut hole in all production. I know. Here's the thing. I mean, Hollywood's taking in money, but they were also spending money in ways they shouldn't have. Each of the studios launching their own streaming service was dumb. All of these things would have naturally grown had they progressed at a normal rate. You still would have had the slow decline of cable, obviously. But just like radio, cable, satellite, broadcast television never has to go away. Radio's still out there, terrestrial radio. People still listen to it every day. Advertisements still sold on it. You just eventually get to the point of homeostasis where everything balances and you have stability, which seems to be a big part of conversation here on the channel today. And so there wasn't any reason to rush to build these streaming services, and yet they did because they saw it as a fight to get into the top places. The top place is still always going to be Netflix. Netflix had it carved out. You have the infinite money at Apple and the infinite money at Amazon. So they can just pay to play. If you're Warner Brothers Discovery and you're going through a reverse Morris Trust or you're watching your studio have failures or you have bad leadership in place or, AT&T wanted to dump you, you didn't need the added expense of CNN launching a streaming thing and then immediately canceling it, which they did. That's $200 million gone. That's bye. And then doing it again. They're launching another one again. Why? To sell it off, spin CNN off with its streaming service? Maybe. Nobody trusts CNN anymore. In fact, nobody trusts the mainstream media anymore. And one of the reasons why is because one of the main sources of news or the authoritative sources of news is corrupted. In fact, they all are, whether it be Reuters or AP, The Guardian especially, one of the most corrupted ones out there. So there's that. Ruby Hoove, you called me a young whippersnapper. But yeah, there's no reason other than funding that I could think that they're not knee deep in productions. They're also moving out of Hollywood because it's too expensive. Yeah, Karen's been here a long, long time. Thank you so very much. But I'm glad you stepped back in. Young whippersnapper. Come on now. In 2000, they tried to make 5 billion cell phones. It was a pipe dream. I wonder how many are on the planet right now. If anybody has that number. Zombie Box. I'm 38. My joints already aches. Well, wait until you get into your 50s. It's a party. It's great to see everybody. Thanks for rolling in here, folks. You're incredible. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Yeah, Lorena was great. When we were doing those shows, Rogue Squadron was super fun. Let's see. K. Roberts. Ouch, my everything. Well, it happens when you get older. Weatherman is correct. There are too many cell phones. True story. And once again, Weatherman, thanks for the gifties. And thank you to Ruby Hoove and everybody else. Staccato DDS, Hoove, Liberty Hall's Cat. Let's see. Mark Fields, of course. And Jay. Dean Krantz, SFX, you guys are great. Thanks for support today. So I've got to cut out of here because I need about 10 minutes to prep for Midnight's Edge in the morning, which you will be automatically redirected to. Starting this afternoon, there will be a video every single day that I am gone. I'll be dropping one of those here probably after Midnight's Edge in the morning. I still have the thumbnail to perfect. And then, like I said, every day, tomorrow onward, you'll get a video. For those of you who are newly subscribed or haven't subscribed yet, just double check that you're subscribed to the channel. If you are, fantastic. Be sure to turn on the notification bell because I will, even while I'm traveling, try to give you at least one piece of material every day. And while I'm traveling, you will also see some of the live events that I'll be attending while I am at the meetup in Florida and other things that happen spontaneously. Because believe it or not, lots of things happen spontaneously at one of these events. And so you might want to just not miss something that's live. It's a very good reason to turn on your notifications so that you don't miss the opportunity to see somebody do something foolish, because it seems like that always happens at one of these events as well. Like I said, if you come across some entertainment news, feel free to send me an email. The email address that's listed for business on my channel on the main page is one that I do check. Sometimes you get stuck in the spam folder. That's actually happened to many people here before, but I'll get to it eventually. And as for all of the rest of it, I just want to say thanks. We were well over 30,000. We're on our way to 40. We'll be doing a celebration stream, I think, on Wednesday night. I've decided either Tuesday or Wednesday night. Now I'm kind of hedging because I don't want to overrun anybody else, but we'll definitely be doing a celebration. I will be dressed like a bear, or I'll be in a bear onesie anyway, and I think we'll have a good time. But wait, I missed an important comment. Putin said, AI is the same. Everyone is AI crazy, but how many know how it works? Yeah, you have to spend a lot of time at it, and get it to work for you. It's not easy. I mean, you have to have, well, if you're using a chat type of thing, you have to have, some chat GBT kung fu that works. You have to know how to have some prompt fu, probably a better way to describe it. Yeah, jumping on the bandwagon. Yep, Motorola killed its paging business for cell phones, and RIM took it from them. Yeah. And I loved the BlackBerry, to be fair. I miss my BlackBerry. If there was any way to do a smartphone plus a BlackBerry, it would have been the best. But yeah, I hope it's not that long, Karen. It was great to see you. Thanks for being here. And what do you got? Culture will be the new Canadian bear. Watch out, Drunk 3PO. Hey, if I could only catch my friend Jay, I would be blessed. But honestly, I'm just glad to be friends with him. He's a good guy, and he, I believe, will be in Florida also. I wonder, there's no reason he wouldn't be. Anyway, all right, I'm headed off. As I said before, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya for real.